Hey everybody, welcome to Knights of Rock the Vault. So this piece is pretty cool. This was filmed a while ago, and it was at the Tuscany Room in San Pedro, this little Italian restaurant, and it was a bunch of my friends from the early days of the Fleetwood Mac tours. I'm talking early 70s into the middle 80s. And I invited everybody to dinner, and we sat around a dinner table for 4 hours and just told stories of what it was like to live and work with the band as they were growing into what they became, Fleetwood Mac. And after the dinner, what we decided to do is we invited some of the local community people, and we did a Q&A. And this part is about the first part of the Q&A, where we sort of equated what we were doing as running away and joining the circus, and basically that's what we did. And after that, of how it grew and how fast it grew, and how marvelous it was to be there and witness what it became, which was Fleetwood Mac. So enjoy this piece and more to come. Just love it.
It was joining the circus. I mean, from absolutely Jump Street. I mean, it was unlike anything else on offer for a way to make a living. And as most of the other people who responded, every night, what we got to participate in was getting 15,000 people really fucking high. You know, I mean, and your role. Varied, but it didn't matter because you were part of that, and so the end result of your work every day is people having a really good time, and that's a pretty wondrous gift, and it stayed the circus for a long time. It really did.
Well, you're still in the circus.
Yeah, well, it's not a circus anymore, though. It's
it was really hard work. There was time you got up to the
that's the other secret to the whole thing is really that we worked our butts off.
It was 18 hours a day, every day.
Every day.
Work. But you did a show for some people, so you felt you had a really good sense of commitment for that day, accomplishment. The best part was when you get up, you know what you're doing. It's scheduled for you. You don't really have to think when you're on the road. You know what you're going to do when you get up.
Yeah.
And you usually have a really good feeling at the end of the day because you made a lot of people happy.
An interesting part of that, though, is you get up and you don't necessarily know where you are.
That's true.
Correct. But the crazy part is it doesn't matter where you are.
Look at your itinerary.
It doesn't matter what day it is.
This is Indianapolis.
And I would find myself in the hotel room opening the drawers looking for the phone book so I could see what city it was.
Right.
Because you wake up and the drapes look the same and the bedspread looks the same. The only thing that was unchanging and certain was when you got to the venue and you started setting up the show and doing the show. Right. That was, for me, I guess for everybody, the real part of the day. The rest of it was just noise.
The rest of it was hurry up and wait.
And like, where the hell am I?
Yeah.
It's like Ray said, the 2 hours where they were on stage were the easiest times because you knew where they were and everything was controlled, and
for the most part,
they weren't going to ask you questions and they weren't going to hassle you. And
in the early 70s when we all started and even worked for like the few legitimate touring companies that did sound or did lights, none of us were getting rich, and it was never about that you thought this wasn't a career. You weren't going to college for this. Most of us had some college that we just left.
Yeah, just left.
And we're mostly thinking, well, whenever this summer job's over, of course I'm going back. And
we go see a few cities.
Awesome.
Somebody else is
I'm
going to
going to
pay
go to
for it.
California and go back a couple of months and I'll be home.
There was a lot of just a gratification. I mean, it was a crazy enough job, and you knew you were doing something that people weren't normally doing, and it was the music of the time. So
it was the music.
But overall, you were just kind of living in a bubble and you enjoyed it. The difference of when this Fleetwood Mac group would have been just any one of a dozen different groups that any of us could have been working for at the time, because we all crossed paths with every band that was out at different times, and doing the same gig and making the same kind of money. just doing our craft, whatever that was. Fleetwood Mac just as accidentally came together. They didn't plan it. They didn't have a manager that put these people together. There's a whole famous, backstory of how Mick just accidentally found Lindsey and Stevie because he was looking at a studio to record the next album with the guitar player that he didn't know was going to quit in a couple months. And so the fact that they got together was completely out of nowhere. And then us group of people with our backgrounds, just here's another tour. What are you doing next week? Oh, I got to finish this tour. Well, can you start in 2 weeks? Then Fleetwood Mac, in a very short time, got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And we were just the same guys used to doing the same thing. And now we were all going, wow. What's going to happen? What's happening next week?
Where's the money? Really good.
Yeah, where's the money?